I'm Jennifer from the Somerset County Family Community Health Science Department. Happy Friday and happy St. Patrick's Day. So we're here in the kitchen transforming another recipe. Last year we transformed a healthy version of a shamrock shake. This year we're going to make grasshopper pie. And if you're not familiar with grasshopper pie, it's usually an Oreo crust with crushed Oreos. There might be marshmallows and condensed milk and just artificial dyes for the green. So just a lot of sugar, fats, and artificial preservatives in that. So we're still gonna make a delicious tasting recipe, combining those flavors of chocolate and mint, right? When you're like our favorite Girl Scout cookies or Thin Mints and think of mint chocolate chip ice cream. So that flavor combination is wonderful. And it will be green as a way to celebrate today. So the first thing we're going to do is use a packet of unflavored gelatin. This is going to help bind all the ingredients together. So 1 pack we're going to put in a microwave safe bowl along with a 1/2 cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Okay, I'm just going to give this a little whisk. I'm going to pop it in the microwave for about 15 seconds. We'll do that once or twice until it's slightly warmed and combined. Okay, so instead of using artificial food dyes, what we're going to use in our recipe is just a little bit of nutrients, right? I'm always trying to squeeze in nutrients where we can. So we have just 1/4 cup of baby spinach. It's really tiny. You're not going to taste it, but it will give that nutrition boost and a little bit of color. Let's check our milk. Okay, we're gonna give this a whisk. Just make sure it's all blended, but it's okay because it's gonna go in the blender anyway. So we're just gonna set that to the side. So in our blender, okay, is going to go 2 cups of cottage cheese. Okay, so I got like, what are these containers? Is 2 cups. I've changed the recipe around. That's what's great about recipes and trying things at home. You can try something as a template and then kind of play around with it. When I made my test batch, I felt like it just made too much and it was flowing over the top. So we're cutting back a little bit of the cottage cheese that was in there. And we're using 2 of these plain Greek yogurt containers. So this is about 10.5 ounces of plain Greek yogurt. So again, if you have a full-size container at home, you can kind of measure out, maybe 1.5 cups. But I like using this because it gives it a slight tang. And again, you're adding in some protein and calcium from the yogurt. So this is like good stuff here. This is why we're calling it a healthy version. Okay, so we have our cottage cheese, we have our yogurt, we are adding some sugar. I've cut this down to 3/4 cup of sugar. You could also, I've seen recipes for like the liquid stevia, so it's really 1 teaspoon of that versus 1 cup of sugar. So the recipe called for 2, so that would have been 2 cups of sugar. Again, I'm playing around with it and using 3/4 cup. So then we're going to save the spinach for the end because I want to blend this well. We're going to do this is a 1/2 teaspoon of mint extract to give it that mint flavor. You can even use mint leaves at home if you'd like. So let's give this a swirl. Okay, we gotta add our milk mixture to this. Okay. I'm gonna make sure you get all that gelatin in. I'm just gonna help this. I forgot my high-speed blender at home, so we're using a little bit of a slower blender today here. With the slower blender, but it did start to liquefy. So now we're going to add in just the leaves here to give it that natural green flavor. color. Flavor, color. Give it one more stir because we do want it nice and thick. Let's check it. Let's check the texture. Okay, it is nice and thick. And when we chill this, you could even put this in the refrigerator. It's going to thick up. Okay, this is a slightly green color. You can see the flecks of the green in there. All right, so let's get our crust. And we're just going to pour this in. See, that's a lot better cutting it down. So, be a little scientist when you find recipes online and alter it to what you need, because this is the perfect amount. We don't want to drip over the edges like I did in my test batch. I'm going to get all that goodness, all that flavor. Now, what you're going to do, and I'm just going to show you for demonstration purposes, we're going to cover this and leave it in the refrigerator overnight, or you can put it in the freezer just for a few hours so it can really get cool and solidify. Before you serve, okay, you take your microplane and a piece of chocolate, and we're just going to grate the chocolate on top. This is a milk chocolate. You could use dark chocolate. Those flakes would be beautiful. And then you can garnish your pie just like that. If you have fresh mint leaves, you can garnish it with fresh mint leaves. But here is your grasshopper mint pie, healthy version, hidden with some nutrients. Check below for the recipe. Check our videos last year for the healthy shamrock shake. It's a beautiful day today. You might want a shamrock shake for lunch and a grasshopper pie for dinner. Have a great day.